So, hello and welcome. My name is Frida Cabo. I am super excited to welcome you to the first live LifeSpider Academy interview. I am one of the licensed LifeSpider coaches and trained directly under Birgitta. And I vividly remember my first meeting with her in May 2014 when she was traveling to Sweden to host one of her workshops about the meaning of life in Örebro. A friend of me told me to come along to listen to this amazing human and the profound insights that I got about myself and the world only during those few hours that I was in the seminar with Birgitta just made me want more. So 6 years later, here I am helping others the way I've been helped and contributing to the world in a way I before didn't think was possible. So I'm really honored to be here today with a woman I call my mentor, my coach trainer, my LifeSpider grandma, and my friend. She always has interesting and thought-provoking answers and questions, so I know you're going to love this and it will help you expand. She has devoted her life to finding the answer to the question, why are people behaving as they do and what is the meaning of your life? She has not just found the answers, but also the solutions. Birgitta Granström has discovered and developed LifeSpider System that enables a new paradigm for individuals. A system is built upon 25 plus years of experience in teaching personal development, coaching thousands of clients, training hundreds of coaches, and more than 30,000 hours of research in philosophy, religion, quantum physics, metaphysics, phenomena, and more. Now, Birgitta lives her dream life and works from her beautiful ranch with all her animals in California. Now it's time to introduce LifeSpider System globally, and that's why we started the LifeSpider movement and are live here today with you. So I'm really honored and grateful to be here with you today, Birgitta. So anything you would like to add to that extensive introduction?
No, I think it was almost too much. And wait, where is the questions? Can we get going?
As always, she's eager to start.
And it
Yes.
is hard for me to be quiet, so I'm with my horses.
So we
Oh, thank
usually
you,
talk.
Frida. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. So we usually talk Swedish. Birgitta is in California and I am in New Zealand. So it's going to be a great mix of languages. And we have received tons of questions for Birgitta. And she has no idea what they are
No.
because that's the way she wanted it. But if you have any new questions coming up, just write them in the comments and we'll see if we can get them in. I don't think we will have time for all the questions today, but if we don't, we just take them another time. And we will keep going as long as the energy is there. And if you need to go, we totally understand and there will be a replay. But stay and invite anyone you think would benefit of listening to this call. Great.
Yeah.
Are we ready for questions or is there something else that needs to be said before?
No, I just said I am really I'm curious about a question because I don't want to hear them before because then you start to think and try to make up a smart answer. And so that's why I'm doing this, and now I don't know if I should have. So no, so just shoot, and we will see what's happening. I have no idea. This is creepy. I don't know. Yeah.
Great. Let's start with an answer with a question I know you have the answer to. What is the meaning of life according to you?
Oh, now we come to this big question. Okay. So I would divide these questions into two parts to give a better answer, because it's one thing, what is the meaning of life? And then we have this other question, what is the meaning of your life? And my theory, and I call it a theory because I don't know, I don't have all the scientific proof on the paper or everything, but my idea about the meaning of life in the bigger picture is that you are here to contribute to the evolution. And don't ask me why is there an evolution, but it is. And the evolution is always trying to improve, to become, and to be better. Uh, and I can see metaphorically, I see like the cells in the body. Every human being is a cell. Our planet is a is a cell in the universe, and all cells are trying to do their job and be the best and stay healthy. So I think the meaning of life is for every living creature. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's humans, it's tree, it's everything. The living thing is to be better and better and better, and that's for humans as well. And then you get to the second part. So, what is the meaning of your life? So it should be for every human being to be the absolutely best they can be. They should start to focusing, okay, if I know who I am, I use the whole me, the true me, and don't try to go and fix somebody or somebody else, something else before they have fixed themselves. If we just get to that point, the world will look totally different. But yeah, so I would say to start, what is the meaning of your life? Start to focus to be and become the absolutely best version of yourself. I mean, that sounds a little bit fluffy and old, but that's actually what it is about. And when that's happened, you are the contribute. You are a little piece, a cell in the universe, but you will do your job. It's like kind of the if the if the pinky toe tried to be a brain cell, it wouldn't work that well. Instead, we some try to be proud of your pinky toe and the brain cell. Try to be the best brain cell you ever can be, and that's why our bodies works. And yeah, I think that was my short answer.
Yeah, great.
Any further questions on this, or is it totally clear?
We don't get any questions so far. Yeah,
Okay.
so just keep on with the questions and just ask in the comments if you want Birgitte to clarify anything or if you have any following questions.
Yeah, please, because I don't really know what I'm what I am saying now. So,
Perfect. That's the point.
yeah, that's the point. So I will be happy to look at the replay.
Yeah. Great. Next question. I have a question from Camilla here. One thing I find difficult about the concept of being your best and always working on progress is that it clashes with a strong feeling and knowing that I have that we are already enough.
But yeah, but this is also something that's a misunderstanding. Of course, every person is enough, but the thing is that they are not knowing who they are. So they are trying to be enough for from something that's not true. They are trying to be good people. And here again, we get, as long as now we are talking about the defense mechanism and you are not allowing your ego to be a part in your life and in your project, you cannot express the real you. To say that you are enough when you don't have the whole picture of who you are, that's why uh, you are not satisfied. Because if it would have been true, yeah, you are enough. Of course, you are enough. But the thing is, you have to know what that you are. I mean, so so as long as how can I express? I think it's a misconception that you don't know who you are, and then you can try to hide behind, yes, you are enough, I'm good, I'm the one who has maybe, especially now in the new age era, that you should be enough, and it's better to you be connected to your soul, and you completely forget that you actually have a personality, you have an ego, and you have to find out what is this. And you can see from the day you are born, you are starting to put layers on how to be, how to behave, and then you get out into society when you say if you do this you are a better person, this is a better job, this is the success. I mean, we have stipulate what we are supposed to do in different boxes, and then we are trying to uh, setting goals, put the intention that are in alignment with those boxes, instead of go and check on what are you what are you supposed to do, what's your unique characteristics, and then see, and then make your choices. So I think, Camilla, is this a answer to your question? And then, I think even more, I can say, I mean, everyone really is enough, and it's sad, and my soul is crying when they are enough on a level that's not compatible with who they really are. So they are settled for less enough than they actually are. That's what I would say, and that's sad.
So you mentioned the defense mechanism quite a lot. To
Hmm.
someone who's new, can you explain that a bit? What is that?
Oh, I would say if we say we are talking about that, we have to uncover our driving forces and our ego. We have been taught that the ego is something that's bad. And for example, I mean, it's not nice, or you are not a good person if you want to have power, if you want to be attractive, if you want to be best, if you want to be first, if you want to be knowing best, or whatever. All this that we are trying to hold back, holding back. And our defense mechanism has been there to adapt to the environment. So it's a survival mechanism from the beginning. I mean, you have to be aware you can't uh, jump on a lion if you are not capable. You know, you can win the fight. So it's actually a biological defense that protects you from doing stupid things. But in today's society, we don't have to say no. I don't. I mean, you can hear, for example, defense mechanism is that you say, "Oh, I don't want that. I don't want to have any power at all. I'm not interested in power. I don't want to be on the stage. I don't want to be in the center." And that's a defense mechanism that actually tells you that you want to be on the stage, you want to have the power, you I don't or what else. And but as long as you say you don't want it, you don't have to face, you don't have to try to show your characteristics, because your ego is so used to be smashed in the head and put down in the basement again, because we have decided, make a decision here, it's better to uh, just show compassion, and compassion and power is not going together, for example. And it's also your project. You say, oh, I dislike that person, I hate that behavior. And it's also a defense mechanism, because you want every single individuals want to uh, now I don't find the word, want to be seen as a good as a good person. And then
Mm.
you try to behave so other people think, oh, she's good, she's perfect, he is magnificent, as long as you are not showing who you really are. uh, so
Yeah,
your defense mechanism protect you from behave in a certain way that is you.
yeah,
And now we don't need a defense mechanism anymore, and we are just in a break in the society, uh, where we learn that we actually can survive. And today, when the defense mechanism is gone, we can express ourselves, and we can place yourself in the right environment, and where the power, for example, is the perfect skill that you need, and nothing ugly. Or yeah, was that an answer?
yes. What happens in the world today? We had a question, of course, about the corona virus, the COVID
Oh,
19. What's your take
okay.
on that?
Oh, there is. Okay, let's see. I would say to start, it depends on what angle to take off it. The first thing is that, and it's easy for me, I just want to say it's easy for me to say who are pretty safe on my mountain top over here. But everything is, as I said from the beginning, is happening for a reason. And everything is contribute to the evolution that will create something that's better. And actually, when we are talking about those three C's, in the end of this, I think we will see a change. And we can see that already now, especially in the consumption. Because now when people, they really think, what do I have to buy? They cannot go out and buy all the stuff just because they are bored. They have to figure it out and do something else. So, and some of the people on the society will learn, okay, we don't need all this stuff here. So I think it will actually affect in the long run in the consumption in a good way. I mean, I can see all this uh, the scarcity. I think that will be the hardest part actually that affect the humans, the behavior that's coming up from the fear people have, and if I see it from a life spider perspective, if you know who you are, what you are supposed to do, you are thinking more logical. You are not react on your biological fear. That's unreal most of the time, because still the corona is. I mean, I don't have the numbers right now, but there are other diseases and other happenings and catastrophes that takes much more life, maybe even every day, than the coronavirus is. Uh, so I think I it's a time for people to take the opportunity to stand still for a little bit and start to travel travel more on the inside instead of traveling on an airplane, and see what's really important for me. To take the time to reflect about your own life and see your own importance, that you are doing the best you can about yourself. So to people to calm down from the fear and start to think.
Mm.
And the people who has the capacity, the opportunity right now in the situation, the life situation, see what can you do to help other people. Especially, I think it's the mental health we have to look for a lot, because the fear, and I mean, people is losing their jobs, they start to get scared. How do I get money, and all this that will create more worries, and will create other physical diseases.
Mm.
So stay healthy, stay, yeah. So I think it's kind of something that tell us, stand still, look what's going on, what's important, and enjoy my life for every day. And it shouldn't be any less than to wake up and be happy and go to bed excited and proud for what you have accomplished during the day. That should be every single, it's a human right. And I think this could be an opportunity for people to think a little bit more about that.
Go on to the next question, I think. That's a great answer.
Mm.
So, a question from Tony in Norway. How do I know that I become a good person and use my life spider to do good in the world and not only do egoistic deeds?
I would say with the lifestyle that you have, there is no choice of not doing good, because when you know who you are and you have, because all we are talking about the intention, you have six different intentions, and the intention is kind of your soul mission. And just I use a metaphor. It's like for the light spider, it's kind of if you are sitting up somewhere in the universe and something is looking down on this planet and say, okay, this is bad, or this is sad, this, oh, this is terrible. Okay, here we have a person who has the perfect DNA to go down to the earth and fix it. So the intentions is something that's you are supposed to contribute to this planet, to the evolution. And when you know that, that feeling is so strong, so you cannot avoid it. I mean, that's kind of, it's taking you in that direction. And when you allow your ego to be a part in this game of the greater good, because the ego is the part that it just wants to have something to do. It wants to express themselves. We take this for power. I love to have power. I want to be the one who make the decisions. And when the ego, who is good on making decision, get in the partnership with a soul who wants to prevent the starvation in world, for example, and when those two are working together, because the ego is the one who can take action, make the plans, do the math, think about the numbers, and take the right action that will support how can we get rid of the poverty. And this is the perfect team. So, and when those are working together, there is nothing else you can do. I mean, it's the most natural thing for you to do is doing good, because there is, you have no choice. So I would say when you know, and the thing is, uh, people want to do good because everyone has a life spider inside them, even if they don't have put it on the paper. And some people is living their intentions, but the problem is that they most of the time don't get support from their ego, because they think they should just focus on to save the kids in Africa instead of the neighbor's cat, because that should be a better deed, but that's not the case. So it's just to be clear and have it on paper and know, okay, I'm doing the right thing now. I don't have to bother what other people think or telling me to do and whatever. I know this is my direction. And when I'm doing this, I'm doing good. So there
Mm.
is actually no choice.
From Tony, I love this answer.
Oh, you did. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have another question that it's on the same theme. So, how do you know it's your soul purpose and not something you want? You just want.
Oh, great question. Oh, it's a wonderful question. The thing is, when something you want, that's most of the time it's coming from a suppressed ego. You think I want to do this, but you don't really know why. A soul purpose is something you know, you feel when it's right, because you get goosebumps. You have there's something you have been longing for the whole life. You can have sentences, situation, whatever happened in your childhood that suddenly everything makes sense. So it's just that it's a knowing. You know is right. And the energy from a soul purpose is just combining with a light, happy feeling. There is no resistance. There is nothing even, it's nothing you want. It's something that you just know you have to do. So it's not the want. When you want something, most of the time that's coming from a suppressed ego.
Great. Uh, is there an unlimited amount of different driving forces? It seems to me a lot of them come back in different people's spiders. So maybe there is a core of, let's say, 30, just picked a number, different driving forces that most people would have. Or what do you think?
I think actually in maybe in time when we have some thousand spiders, we could see a pattern, because the driving forces is more, it's about frequencies. And I don't have the real answer now, but I think in time there will be a certain amount of frequencies. And I think those frequencies, how many frequencies do we have in the universe? Actually, I admit I have no idea. But I think in time when more people have, we can see a pattern. Uh, and it's different. And but the key point is, even if a driving force is the frequency, I'm sure about that. The word for each individual is connected with certain kind of feelings. So that's why the one driving force maybe is the could be in the same frequency but explained in different words. And for the light spider, it's not to show for somebody else. It's not for that somebody else has to understand. So it's just for the individual light spider to know, okay, I feel this. This is my ego. My ego understands this word. So, but I'm looking forward to it, and that's why I also think in time, in a few years, I have no idea, it will be easier to do a light spider, and we can create more light spiders faster. Right now, it's kind of it's a long process. It needs one light spider code. The groups cannot be uh, too big, but it will be improved and it will be better. But we are still just in the beginning.
Mm.
So that was a really smart question. And
Mm.
my brain will keep on thinking because I don't have the whole answer yet. And I love those questions.
Great.
I do.
A totally different questions. Are there any employees within the LifeSpider system?
If you're in the employees,
Hmm.
and in LifeSpider System or
Yeah, in
in
LifeSpider
LifeSpider
system.
Academy. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess.
Okay. No, no, we don't have any employees, and I think there will never be any employees because I still have. We are building an organization, but this organization. I mean, I have run businesses before, and I have had employees. But as you have your LifeSpider, it's an individual freedom that's increased, and that's something that's happening all over the world. So in LifeSpider Academy, we will just work with contributors, and that means that you are coming in and have a function. So it's more about function, not the person. And you came in, you are coming in the LifeSpider Academy. You do your job, what you like, and this job is connected to one of your intention in your LifeSpider, and you can see your ego feels really good of doing this specific task. And when you are changing direction, change intention, you don't you are supposed to move on. So it will be a more movement the whole time. And so this old system to building a business is not really applicable to LifeSpider Academy. So this is another project I have one in my spider legs to build this happy organization with no employees. But in other work, to unite and to work together. You don't have to have a contract to work together when you know what you are doing. You don't have to control anyone to do a certain task or in a certain way because you are. It's a partnership. It's a partnership. It's not an owner and an employee, or it, it's not how the future will work for any business in the far future. Because that's the situation of employment right now. It's actually what makes people be depressed and burnout because they are going to a job they don't really like. They maybe even dislike it. It's uncomfortable. They really don't want to do it, but they still do it, and they want to be a good person who work for another organization's goal where their own intentions is not including, and that's why people get burned out. Not the hours of work or what kind of doing they are doing. It's that you are, as an employee, you are feeling forced to do it because you need to have food on the table, and this also has to change. I mean, every single task you are doing should be connected, and you should find a reason in your own intentions. So that's something that business and organization should look at and see, okay, how can we find employees who has an intention in their spider that is going together with our mission instead of convince an employee, oh, now we are going to reach this goal, we're going to make those kind of money and try to this motivation industry. It's just an artificial energizer. So, and that will not work either. So the business and organization had to rethink. I think. I
Yeah,
know.
and I think it's a really exciting way to work as well, to really work from the life intentions. It's, yeah. It's the future. So it's really
It's the
exciting to be a
future.
part
And
of that.
then you, I mean, when you work from your intention and it, you know, this will make me to fulfill my contribution to this world. I mean, you have people who is working so much more. You don't have to waste time on to motivate them or to control them or to ask for things because it's just happening.
Another question. How do you live a life from love, limiting fear or judgment of others?
So can we say living from love, no limitations, and what was the third? I need to remember. Love.
Here. So, how do you live a life from love, limiting fear or judgment of others?
Okay, so here we have, okay, we start with judgment of others is coming from what we talked about earlier about their ego and the defense mechanism, and you judge others because you are trying to control how they behave because you want to feel good about yourself. That's why you judge this good and bad. The dualistic society, it's that's what's created judgment. So when you know who you are, you don't have to judge anybody. You don't, because the judgment is this good and bad. And when you see that good is bad is going to dance, it's dance together. So you don't have this either or. It's everything. It's whole. So that will disappear. And if the judgment disappear when you are friend and invite your ego, you don't judge. I mean, and that's not the same thing that you want to have to play with everybody else. I mean, you will like to be with other people because they are more like you. They certain people is bringing out the best in you. So but you don't have to judge that because you respect every single individual as they are. uh, so, and the limitation as well, that's also connecting to the approach we have towards the ego. And even now, when people is trying to become the best and the personal development era, we still hear that we should go for the soul, we should, without an ego. And that works so much against what everybody wants to do. So the first step is we have to find a way where people allow the ego to come to play. Uh, at the same time that they see I have a higher purpose, because just an increased ego without a soul purpose connected, it will be chaos. Uh, but the limitations is just because people, the society, the norms, the rules, and everything that's now they're telling you to do certain things and judge that's good and bad, it will disappear when you see there is actually no limitations when you know who you are. And I would say love is an other as often is misunderstood, because when people generally is talking about love, they are talking about love towards another person or uh, another being. So that's, and love with a suppressed ego actually it's not really real, because then most of love and relationships is built on that the person want to feel better about themselves. So it's not until you can get beyond and you don't need another person to feel better about yourself, then you can talk about the real love. I mean, the feeling of love that makes a person to feel good, but it's temporary and it's not safe. This human love we are talking, it's definitely not safe, because if something is happening and uh, it disappears. So when we talk about unconditional love, it's more about compassion. It when you are feeling love for everything, and when you are capable of have this compassion for yourself, then actually you are ready for love, and you are really ready for love to another human being. So I would say, maybe it sounds harsh, but most of the love we experience, especially in relationship, it's by a biological thing. It's a reproduction. I don't say it's not wrong, but it's better to see what it is, because what's happening when saying, okay, love will save the world, And if that was be the point, we would have done that in the 60s and 70s. It would have been done when everything was about peace and love, but it didn't work. And this is the reason. So we have to go beyond and see it just, it's not the human love that will save this world. You have to go beyond and you have to feel the compassion for yourself.
So here's the next one. I think we touched on it a bit before, but how do you believe we solve conflicts best? What is the root of conflicts between people?
Yeah. The root of the conflicts with the people, again, it is when you're not satisfied with whom you are, you get in conflict with others. That's actually that easy. It sounds easy, but it's hard to get there. Because conflicts, it's also just something that exists in this what we call the 3D world with its rules and values and judgment and stuff. Because conflicts, when you know who you are and you are satisfied with yourself, you don't see, there is no conflicts. I mean, there is situations that have different solutions, and it's an excitement that you have. Oh wow, here we have a situation, let's see how we can best, how we can solve it, instead of this I'm right, you are wrong, this is blue, this is red, this is better, this is worse. I mean, it's the dualistic thing that create conflicts because you can't see it can be united. And it cannot be united with people who is not knowing, especially don't know to, especially not people who is not allowing their ego to take place. Then that's why the conflict is. And you are talking and fighting towards the defense mechanism system. So it's not honest. You are saying one thing, you're talking about another thing. So you have to remove those barriers, and then there will be no conflict. It's easy. So then it's just exciting solutions left. There is work you have to do. There is no 7 step to happiness. There is no 10 ways to create a better world. I mean, it's ambition. It takes time. It's you have to be ready to do the work, do the job. And right now, I mean, not everyone is not supposed to do the work right now because they are doing their contribution just by being who they are. But there is some people out there, and those feels I'm ready, because it's not an easy way. It's not a shortcut, but it is a way that's worth taking.
Mm. And we have a question on that. So
Oh,
the question is, how do I use my spider when I feel lost? Uh, can I hurry the process? I have my spider and I can see that I'm not living in alignment with it. I feel open and curious of possibilities. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm translating at the same time. Uh,
okay. Good work.
but I see that it takes, it seems to take so much time, or it's something that I don't see.
Uh, in most cases, when you feel lost, it's because you have forgotten your intentions. So it's always to go back. And it's also when you are out there in the real world and you meet people who still are living in this, we call it the 3D world, in the box, and you are not strong enough in the beginning, and you are falling back into the old way of thinking. So it's a practicing in the beginning to always connect and check what intention is activating right now. And don't ask your driving forces or your ego about that. But when you connect with your intention, and in time, it will be like a reflex. You always, don't do anything. You don't do the dishes without feeling that, okay, I'm in a spider leg. Or you can practice with that. Okay, when I'm doing this, when I do the dishes, what intention am I feeding, get nurtured by doing that? So, and it's like to learn any other skills, because when you have your life spider, it's kind of you have to take a new approach to life. So it kind of learn a new skill. So when you're for driving, for skiing, I mean, you have learned something new in life, and and this is the same. You have to practice. You have to practice, and then it will be a reflex. but always connect with the intention. And then you ask for the ego. Okay, come on, ego. Now we have a project. Now we're going to go out and say the word. So please, come on, let's work. Let's do the work.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good. So how do you feel? Shall we? You have,
Maybe, yeah, there was lots of questions about the LifeSpider. Yeah,
mm,
in my mind, actually, I had expect more kind of life situations questions. But this,
okay.
yeah, no, I love those questions. I mean, it's perfect. It makes us think, but maybe it's I don't know. We have been here for a while,
Yeah.
so maybe we could make a closure for today and then keep on working on the questions afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's your
Great.
decision. You are the boss today, Frida. You're the boss.
Sorry.
You are the chief. So it's your
Yeah.
decision.
So thank you very much for all your questions, and thank you very much for being here live. And if you watch the replay, just say something in the comments. And thank you for being here as well. I would love to hear your biggest takeaway from this live stream and this these questions. What were your biggest takeaways? Comment there. So thank you very much, and we're all checking out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's get out there and work for a united world in passion, peace, and performance. That's what we are
Yes.
going through. It is. And thank you, Frida, for doing this. It's been,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
It's been an
Okay.
honor. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye.